You hear me?
Oh.
What was her name? It was Tyler who?
Selena. See, this is what I hate.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's midday with Marcus Maven. 8150 939 is the number. 939 is the station. And people, it's a beautiful, beautiful August 20th, which means we're so much closer to September 1st, so much closer to my man Bobby P making it happen, so much closer to my man Coach Mac bringing him in here. Steve Rummage in the building, Brian Hall in the booth.
As always, a Monday, a lot of stuff to touch on, a lot of stuff to get ready for. And look, I'm counting it down, man. Look, I got 1 week. I got a fantasy draft. I got some things to do. Boom, next week, football. Let's go.
Fantasy draft already. Steve, you haven't got a chance to get all the information you need
Got all I need.
Have your fantasy draft.
I got Zeke as a keeper. That's all I need.
It is way too early for that. It is way.
It's not.
Brian Hall in the booth. Brian, what's going on, my man?
Hubers. Wait a minute. You bash him right now for going to Hubers since you killed me over my spiced pumpkin candle.
What is wrong with him going to...
That's a fall thing, man.
What? Nathan's house?
Oh my God, Marcus. I hate you. I don't even want to be in this show.
What?
No, I love Nathan. Sometimes I don't even know.
I just didn't. I was surprised you hang out with the head of marketing.
That's not what it is, Marcus.
I'm listening.
Hubers in Indiana.
I'm listening.
They grow apples and pumpkins and stuff. Yeah, it is a restaurant. Yeah, you don't know what Hubers is? It's a distillery.
Well, how could I not know about a distillery?
Come on. See, because look, and that's why I'm saying, like, to me, I go to Huber's in the fall. I get the homemade pumpkin spice donuts. I'm telling you, dude, I'm a basic white girl. Starting in September, I don't play. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. They make the homemade pumpkin spice donuts. Dude, listen.
May have heard of it now that you say, do they also have like a farm with venison on it or something? Brian?
What's
like lamb? Maybe I do know.
No, it's legit.
Maybe 502 Cafe suggested it.
Probably. It's legit, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like side by side. You can do like the hay rides and the corn maze and stuff. Terrifying, dude. You ever get lost in a corn maze? Me either.
I have.
How about this?
Right.
Yeah, right. Sugared cinnamon apple. Bought that yesterday
too. My God, it's too early.
Fire,
it's
dude.
August.
Hey, man.
It's August. No.
What's wrong with sugared cinnamon apple?
Oh, candles.
Is there anything about sugar, cinnamon, or apple that can't be done in the summer?
Steve, all this stuff is your fantasy football draft is too early. Your pumpkin spice lattes is too early. You know what? I'm going to just call you premature Steve. No more college try Steve, just premature Steve.
Never been called that.
Welcome back to Midday with Marcus, baby. We are having a good time. We could not wait to get in here and harass each other. As you can see, I'm glad to have you here. And you know what? Let's just get it started off. You kind of made a statement right as we were talking about kind of a pre-show prep. Before we go forward, we have to rewind a little bit because sometimes this is what happens. Something happens on Friday.
Yep.
We don't get a chance to talk about it. It goes through the 72-hour cycle.
Oh, everything I want to talk about today happened on Friday.
Right. Okay, so we'll just make a clean opening rehash. 8150 939 is the number. 3831 939 is the text line. Steve,
before you get there, let's clean up real quick. Jalen looked good this week. He looked good this weekend. Let's give him his props because I like to mess with you. We have fun on the show, but he looked good. He looked real good.
He didn't look like he was
Thought he did.
in danger.
I know. Thought he had a real good game, man.
I work from the worst case scenario to the best case scenario. And he didn't screw up.
He didn't. So I'm just trying to clean up a few weekend things real quick. That happened, and that was one of them.
That was such a relief, too.
Yep. Cowboys look good again. Zeke
Did you use my son to try to sneak in your football talk to the Cowboys? Yeah. Detroit, and then they're going to be playing the Cowboys.
Yeah, the Cowboys. Hey! And then they look good, so everything went good. SummerSlam was, it's okay.
Well, speaking of football, Steve.
Yes.
Let's
do it.
Let's go college football. Let's go local college football.
AP poll comes out today at noon.
Let's go stealing all the headlines of the weekend college football. Let's go open yourself up for the whole world to be rooting for Louisville to fall flat on its face college football. Let's talk about the exposure of all the personalities or quote-unquote mentalities that you and I almost bash. Although we are so positive, we don't even like to bash people who are not positive. With that being said, we will beat Alabama. Oh, my God. You have hexed the University of Louisville with and listen, I won't give it context, Steve, because who wants to do that?
Right.
Who wants to give it context like, hey, if I can get guys to believe that we can win or we will win, if I get guys to believe we can win like I believe we can win, then we will win.
Yeah.
No. Don't give it context, Steve. Just chop it like Brian Hall does with a comment in the middle. Just do it like Brian Hall does with a drop. Just cut it right with, we will win.
Yes.
We will win. And make it like the Russian and Rocky, whichever. You will lose.
I don't care which way you cut it. What else do I want? I was thrilled with what I heard on Friday. I thought, my God, my coach is back. I don't know what everybody else heard, but I heard Bobby Patrick. Everybody's been complaining.
You know what? He's not your coach, Steve.
No, he's my coach.
He's not your coach.
He's my. Look, I played. I was on his team.
You accept him as your coach? Fair point.
Yes.
He's not the public's coach. You know what people forget? He's responsible to the team first.
Absolutely.
Is there one person on the team who did not like what he had to say? Is there one person on the team that said, hey, Coach, I really wish you wouldn't have did
I really wish you would have not said that.
Now,
Coach, we're going to get killed.
Now the big meanie heads are going to be rough on us.
I know. Now they're gonna yell at us.
Steve, we're gonna get in trouble for making that voice. Your voice, your wimpy voice.
Yes,
it's eerily on point.
I know.
like you've heard too many wimpy voices in your life.
I listen to a lot.
Okay, so just refresh this. You hear it, and then you watch it unfold via social media after you hear the comments. Okay, let's start right there.
Well, do we have that, Brian? Do you got Bobby P from Friday? Okay, give Brian a second. I'm sure by now everybody's heard what we're talking about, but I do think it would be good to go ahead and give it in context.
Fire away. Alabama, right? You know you're not allowed to say that.
No, here's what.
That's an NCAA violation.
Do you want me to tell you why? Let me tell you why.
The only thing that upsets me about what Bobby said is the same reason what I said about Dez. What did I say the day when me and you talked on the phone? When we said the Dez thing, I said I love it. I said, you know the only thing I don't like? I said I'm almost like Dez. Shh, because that came from the heart. That came from what I truly believe.
Right.
That wasn't that what Des Fitzpatrick said groomed.
Right.
He don't just get up on a microphone and start running his mouth about something. That kid, you're not going to find a more polished kid.
Stop. Rewind. Repeat. Give it context. Give it emphasis, Steve. Des Fitzpatrick comes from a polished group, which is the reason I say watch out for a guy like Jordan Travis. But that's a different conversation.
No, that's fair.
When you come from people who expect to win, who expect a certain level of performance and skill set and media savvy and public speaking, who's comfortable in your own skin, you don't say outlandish things.
So is what I said when Des said that was the football player in me said, oh, man. Like, not because I'm scared of Alabama, almost like, wait a minute, y'all have been watching film. Y'all see what Des Fitzpatrick said is I've been watching this film. We can beat them.
I'm just talking
one-on-one. Yeah, like I'm not just talking. I say the same thing with Bobby. My only thing is Bobby Petrino's watched film. Now, all of a sudden, what Steve and Marcus and different ones have been telling you.
Oh, Steve, are you ready to do that already? Are you ready to point out the tons of Alabama media and national media? You've actually been firing confirmation tweets to me via DM all weekend. People just take our word for it. If you look and type in Alabama and what's the key word that you got? Concerned.
Yeah.
Alabama concerned. You know what? 40% of all national writers have an article within the last 2 weeks saying exactly what Coach Petrino, Des Fitzpatrick, Marcus Maben, Steve Rummage, and I don't know who else have been saying the exact same thing. This secondary, thin, inexperienced, new coordinator, banged up.
Right. Bobby Petrino has watched film and he's telling his team, which is now why you know what Des said what he said, for everybody that tried to jump on him the day after and tried to turn him into just a bulletin board guy that was popping off at the mouth.
Right.
They've been sitting in meeting rooms where the coach is saying, no, guys, this isn't hype talk. We can beat this team.
We can expose this team.
This isn't. Guys, let's go out and we can do this. We can win. No. Watch this.
And listen, flip it 1 second. Flip the page. Jump on Alabama's side of the fence. What did you get from Nick Saban this weekend?
You got from Nick Saban? Let me see if I can pull up the exact quote.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'll let people know we are Made for the Ville YouTube channel. We are live streaming. If you want to get a glimpse into, what's going on behind the scenes, like I said, we try to get that. We work hard to get that up on YouTube channel every day. Tune in right now. We can interact. You have a text line on that as well.
You want the quote coming out of Tuscaloosa?
I do.
Saban on injuries. This is quote, Nick Saban. You all think that every time something happens, we just beep out another player.
Defecate.
That's some frustration coming out of Alabama right now. You want to hear some other names of some articles? I sent you one. Why Nick Saban's concern about the linebacking core is justified. Coming from Alabama.com
2 months ago.
Yes. Now that ain't just DBs. We've now moved from the DBs to the linebacking core.
Right.
Is an issue. Now I don't like to do the injury thing. Like, well, we're better, but they have lost 2 outside linebackers. They've lost an offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
They've lost a running back.
As of lately.
Within
the last 72 hours.
Nick,
a little more than that, but you get the point.
Nick Saban, and look, and I'm not saying, look, Bama's going to replace those guys with excellent players. Sometimes
have talent. They are talent rich.
Yes, Alabama's the type of school where sometimes an injury will put a kid in the game that you're like, oh, well, that kid should have been there the whole time.
Yeah, I heard Drew Dina say the other day, the Dalvin Cook appearance as freshman Dalvin Cook, that was a nightmare.
Yeah. So, I mean, but what I'm trying to say is right now the vibe is Bobby Petrino saying, hey, guys, no, seriously, we can beat this team. And Nick Saban's going, hey, guys, I don't know if y'all know it, but they can beat you. That's the vibe right now.
And let me, before I go to the phone lines, before I go to the Bill X. Gorns and Sons Collision Center hotline, let me just take a moment to do this. Bobby, I'm sorry. Coach Petrino, I'm sorry. Listen, I give you your props. Give you a hard time. I give you suggestions. I own it. I've been skeptical. I've been a little less sold on your speed versus contact violent practices. I've been that guy.
Mm-hmm.
As of late, and I say late, within the last 4 to 6 weeks, it's kind of the thing I saw with the Alabama. I see the intensity of practices, and I haven't saw the violent highlights out of practice. Now, not saying that I don't know that they're going on, right? But I just see SEC and depth, and I'm always worried that they're practicing at a more violent tempo.
Yeah.
Because they're not afraid to go deep into their lineups if they get injuries.
Right.
Because like you say, sometimes a guy getting hurt is the best thing that could happen. Because you discover new talent, you find out who can sink and who can swim. And sometimes I think early season violence and tempo, you almost it takes you a little more time to catch up to that level of intensity.
Absolutely.
SEC level of intensity. I think that's what Alabama did to USC. They had been practicing so physical and so aggressive during the preseason that by the time they get hold of those out-of-conference opening games, you're not ready for that level of intensity.
Right.
So what I'm saying when I'm saying that the intensity level is a good thing is right.
Yes, I agree.
Until you look at how much Alabama has lost in these last couple of weeks.
Yes.
And how much Louisville has not lost in these last couple of weeks.
A shiver just went down my spine.
I know. And it's one of those where if Bobby came into this room or came by and knocked on the door, actually, you don't have to knock. He'd open the door, he'd look in, and he'd say, Marcus, that's why I've been keeping the guys off the ground.
Yes.
That's why we've been going 70% thump drills.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And teaching technique.
And then 2 full scrimmages.
Controlled setting, controlled scrimmages, injury, because, Marcus, I need my players available.
Yeah.
Because if my players aren't available when Alabama comes, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how aggressive and
how
violent we want to be.
Yeah.
That's one. Sometimes, Marcus, you got to leave it up to your playmakers to, when the lights come on, be playmakers.
Yeah.
Without all the extra seasoning and violent crap.
Yes.
Sorry.
Nah.
You got me, Coach.
That's grown up. That's adult of you.
No, I had.
Yeah.
It was a fact.
No, I don't disagree.
Because, like I said, the first injury that comes in a full contact practice, how many times I said, dude, I went over to that Yum Center and I saw Peyton and those guys practicing in those damn boxing helmets.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
It should not be necessary.
But when they were the toughest team out on the floor, I was like, that's what I'm talking about, Rick.
Yeah.
Where those helmets at? Get some more of them helmets in here.
But for the same breath, how many years do you feel like an injury
preventative
cost you?
Yep.
Or even if it wasn't an injury, cost you a guy that couldn't practice until December and then came back in January, and you're like, man, if we had him all year.
Yeah.
You know, so you take you take the year it didn't hurt you injury wise, you won the national championship.
Bill at Scores and Sons Collision Center Hotline provides us with the ability to give you Lawrence. Lawrence, thanks for joining us on 93.9, my man. What's on your mind?
What's up, guys?
What's up, Lawrence?
Chilling.
I just want to say to Bobby, it's about time.
Yeah.
That's Conference USA Big East Bobby right there. That's the one I've been waiting to see for the last couple of years. Somebody used to get in fight with coaches, used to talk back to coaches with a whole lot of swagger, and used to make his players really pay when they didn't want to play the way they want to play.
Right.
I've been waiting for that Bobby for years. Like, is he finally back? Is he finally back? Is he going to go out there like they did against Miami, just top of mud hole on Alabama? Because that's the Bobby I've been waiting to see. Not just kind-hearted Bobby. I'm done with that Bobby. I
No,
want the mean Bobby back.
no, that's a fact, Lawrence. I appreciate the call. I mean, here, and I'll do this. And people, there's a flaw. There's a flaw that Steve and I kind of put on display. And that flaw is if we have thoughts and we have focus on a certain aspect of our sports, instead of sticking to a radio traditional script, we kind of speak a little candidly from the heart, right?
Yeah.
So you reel me in when you think I'm off the reservation.
Okay.
Here. I was watching the Wake Forest Louisville condensed game.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it, and all I'm saying is, God, he was wide open. All I'm saying is, that's the worst tackling I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was bad.
Didn't I see that? I'm saying
Russ got lost a few times.
that defense looks so uninspired.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It looks so undisciplined. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just looking at it, and the more I look back, I'm like, that was a duct tape job, but you had all the right players in the right positions, but no finishing.
Mm-hmm.
Then that allows me to get confident more and more the more I watch how bad we looked against Wake Forest
Yes.
last year.
I don't disagree. Let's talk about that for a second, though, because we like to talk about the good stuff on this show a lot of times, and because
We talk, but you and I talk about good stuff 90% of the time of our lives. You know what's good going on out here somewhere.
Right. So I will say this. I'm reading through just a little bit. Says this is from the scrimmage that happened that closed out camp, I think Friday night.
Right.
This is defensive coordinator Brian Van Gorder. Okay. Says in the scrimmage, the defense gave up a few big plays and a number of sustained drives, which is to be expected. But Van Gorder come out of the scrimmage encouraged with the unit's development from Monday's scrimmage. He said, I saw some better things overall, but the mark of inconsistency still, we battled. They moved the ball early on. It comes down to effort and execution. I thought they were more focused. And then he said, I think getting to a point, but there's a point in here where he talks about tackling still being a little bit of an issue. That is something I don't like to hear. Now, it's always...
Let me tell you what I thought first.
Okay.
And then you can tell me if I'm wrong,
Okay.
tell me if I'm right, you know.
Yeah.
Or is this me? This is Marcus, thinking like Marcus does. Of course, tackling is an issue, right?
Yeah.
I'll go back to it. When you concentrate on speed and health and execution, what suffers? Tackling,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you're focused, like, don't tackle all the way to the ground all preseason.
Yeah.
Most of the spring. You have to have a playmaker mentality that can turn it on when the lights go on.
Yes.
This is only the second time that they're full pad
Sure.
tackle to the ground, you know, other than control drills and a little something, in space tackling, angle, you know, full speed, you know, kamikaze rocket propulsion, go hit somebody.
Yeah.
This is the, you know, second or third time, you know, like I said, I know you have controlled drills and stuff, but it's different from in-game full speed hitting to inflict damage.
No, I don't disagree. And the one thing that I will come back with that makes you feel a little better, Nick Saban's kind of saying the same things.
Right. Right. You listen,
We're not tackling well.
Yeah, you don't get violent. You don't get violent when you've been practicing health. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's hard. Okay. And it's the same across sports. When you're learning the offense in a basketball situation, in a football situation, when you're going through the offense, you're not jamming receivers full throttle. You know what I'm saying? They're learning the offense. So the defense has a tough job of being resistant, but not a brick wall. You know, you resistant. You know, we want you to stick with the guy. You know, in the game, you have to foul. You have to, you know, create penalties. You have to do a lot of stuff that you can't do in practice. You can't hold the receiver in practice, especially Bobby's trying to teach an offense, and in a game, you're going to have to hold off the line. You're going to have to hold your man. You're going to have to cheat to win. You're going to have to push people down. You have to do illegal things. It always happens. You're always going to be a little late catching up to the aggression level, and that's what happens. You end up getting whirlwind in any sport if you're not ready.
Let me give you one more thing, and then we'll go to the phone lines, hear what people got to say. Nick Saban is talking about the linebacking core. We basically have Anthony Jennings and Christian Miller, who have been starters around here. Past that, we have Ben Davis and 2 freshmen. That's basically what we have. If we had more linebackers, Josh McMillan could play the position. But I'm not sure right now we can afford him. So we're pretty thin.
That was a quote. Now, if your coach sounds like that, think about if you're a player. Take Bobby's quotes and then take those quotes. And your coach saying, basically, we don't have anything. Now you're trying to prove you can play. Now you're trying to gamble. And Nick Saban knows that Bobby Petrino is like a damn ice cream truck with his offense.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Those linebackers, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever the ice cream tone is, right? You get my point?
Yeah.
Or does my point go across the air clear?
No, I think so.
Ice cream truck. He's eye candy. I think I see a hit right there. I think I see an interception. You start peeking at some stuff he shows you.
Yeah.
You run to the ice cream truck. You're getting bombed.
Yes.
And Nick Saban knows he has ice cream trucked by linebackers before.
I think what you're getting out of Nick Saban, and this is the one. Sorry, I said one more thing, and then we go to the phone lines. This is the last thing.
I promise.
What I'm loving about what I'm hearing is, it to me sounds like Nick Saban is losing sleep over this opener. And here's what's funny. According to the rankings, it's the lowest opener he's had. And this is the one that you can tell that man's sweating some bullets at nighttime.
Yeah, and I don't care if he's losing more sleep because his team is not as good as he thinks they are.
No, I think what you said just a second ago is a big point. He's saying, I've got freshmen over there, and Bobby's going to he is going to mind mess them up, man.
And I know that freshmen trying to learn to use their eyes means they're not using their legs.
Yes.
They're not. You don't coordinate your eyes and your legs until it happens, until you have to see it once or see it twice. I know my offense is not showing them what Bobby's offense is going to show them. My scout team is not showing these kids what Bobby Petrino shows my kids.
Which is why Des Fitzpatrick said, if we block and the ball gets there, just saying.
Des, you better get it together. Tino the Barber, thanks for joining us on Midday with Marcus Baby. What's on your mind, my man?
say, talk about these linebackers, man. And here's the thing. Then their starting linebackers got hurt, right? Or they just saying they don't have any?
No, they've had a couple. One of them wasn't a starter. The other one was. They've had a couple guys get hurt.
Right. They had a couple guys get hurt. Here's the thing. Here's how you match it up. You match up receivers and DBs, and you match up linebackers with running backs and line for line, right? So, okay, our running backs. If we run this ball, we're going to win. If we can run the football against those second string linebackers or whoever, that's his thing. He is scared because he don't have good linebackers. Every year since he's been there, he's had excellent linebackers, first round linebackers, and he knows he don't got them. And I want to make one more point before I get off here. I was going to call the Drew Dinner show after he played at comment, and I was going to say anybody in that office that wants to put a little bread from 5 to 100 or whatever you want on it, Barbara will accept it. And the $5 is y'all's next door neighbor, because I know it's his a little famous $2 or $5 bet that he makes. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
So, anytime we get ready, I want y'all to pass the word. I think I ain't little humble brag. I got a little name in the thing.
Tina, we're not going to sponsor your offshore betting.
I love it.
Hey man,
but we get what you're trying to say.
I'm just saying. Look, 5 to 100. Who want it?
Tina, I appreciate the call. That is so. Never in your life has there been a more barbershop sounding call.
That was perfect.
5 to 100. Who won it?
Put a little bread on it right now.
A little bit of bread on it. Adam, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Hey, man, it's 10:35. I hope you guys aren't drunk, because the way you're talking, I'm nervous. It doesn't matter if it's fifth-string Bama linebackers.
Oh.
Nick Saban is doing what Nick Saban does, and he's downplaying everything. You go back and watch the tapes before the USC game. He was talking about how depth was an issue, and they ended up shellacking those guys opening game. The reason why Nick Saban is so good is because of what he's doing now. He never lets them get complacent. I hope that Bobby's got the team prepared. I know he's going to have the offense prepared, but if we're hoping that Alabama comes in with issues, we can hope in one hand and you know what in the other, because that's not going to happen. They're going to be ready to play, so we're just going to have to outplay them. I know we're going to do what we can do. We're going to do as much as we can on offense. We're going to score some points. I just hope BVG can hold that defense together and not give up 50.
Adam, let me ask you this. What is Nick Saban's weakness, in your opinion?
He doesn't his weakness when it comes to defending quarterbacks is mobile quarterbacks. That's historically been his weakness. If you look at him against Ole Miss, Mississippi State, it's always the mobile quarterback.
Yeah, that's fair.
Other than that, he doesn't have a weakness. You're talking about a guy that's got national championship rings on both hands.
Well,
They're going to have depth. They're going to play sound. It's all a matter of if Bobby can scheme them right. Hopefully it looks like some of the later Arkansas teams instead of those earlier ones. I'm confident. I'm just worried about the defense because they've got some weapons that they've never had before. When you look at Tua, you look at those receivers, and that running back, I mean, he's going to be bigger than the linebackers we're going to have out there on the field. He's bigger than C.J. Avery and all those boys. That's a concern. He's got 20 pounds on C.J. Avery, the running back for Bama.
That's one dude. I appreciate the call, Adam. I mean, Adam wasn't listening to the show where we did the heights and weights of our players compared to theirs.
yeah, no, I don't.
And I mean, like, Adam, like, you should go to gocards.com and you should look at, like, you should just type in the names of the players on our team. And you know what you should do? You should go down and you should look at something like a Grenard and just look at where their offers are. Like, look at these schools they turned down.
Well,
you know what you see? Auburn, Alabama, Tennessee.
Well, and the way he started off the call for me, it kind of shut it down for me. Was I'm nervous. What are you nervous about? We're not the team that has to be nervous in this game. Louisville's not nervous. What am I nervous about? What's Alabama going to come out and beat you?
You know what angers you more than anything? and it angers you and you and you and me. You know what it is? It's when we play Duke and Wake Forest, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what they do? They get a first down, right? And then they do a damn dog pile every time they get a first down. You know why? Because they got nothing to lose.
Right.
Now imagine if Louisville's out there doing a 3-man booty bump, air, chest bump, spin every time you get a touchdown.
I know.
What bar are you going to be at that's going to be rocking every time Louisville gets a completion?
I don't know why people can't, and this is one thing I would say to somebody with the mindset that Adam has right now.
Right now, because we're gonna get him out of that.
For one time, enjoy being the team that gets to come in and say, because Clemson, I don't think you get that. Because
you're in the conference. You
played them too close for too many years.
Yep,
I don't think you get the, hey, we're just going to go in there and get a puncher's chance at Clemson. You don't get that pass.
Think about this. There's only 8 teams in the country that were considered the hunter. That's why we're still pissed about not getting Michigan.
I know.
Like, Michigan, you're a hunter.
Yep.
LSU, you weren't even considered a hunter.
Yes.
You were like, LSU's having a down year at 7 and whatever, 7 and 6, right? There's 10 teams that you're considered. Oh my God. USC, Notre Dame, kinda. Alabama, Georgia, Florida. Think about it. Florida State, you're not even a hunter anymore.
No.
You're Eagle. Like, that's the thing. I said it. Louisville has made its reputation, its history, its bones by going to hunt big-time name schools.
Yes.
That's what listen, our sportsgasms out of Louisville are made off of going to show big name state schools that we're as a university, as a family, you're on par with anybody.
Yes.
If you just do it the right way, like you go get them.
Right. So that's what I say. I mean, I don't get
It's been a long time since we just been a full hunter.
I just
when was the last game we played where we were just a full football hunter?
I mean, Florida probably in the Sugar Bowl.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, that was the game where, even though I don't know, with bowl games, it still just feels a little different. Because I feel like you can cost somebody something in the regular season. So I'm trying to think of
give me a regular
probably
season.
Florida State.
West Virginia had a year where they were going.
No, Florida, because Louisville win in those games. I think Florida State.
Which one?
02. Where it was just like, you're coming in here, man. And
Miami 1 year?
Yeah, Miami at Miami, I think was one where you could
see, that was a welcome to the ACC Hunter game.
No. I'm talking Miami at Miami on Thursday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But you get my point. Yeah. You get one of these games every 2 years where you can screw it up for a big time program, and you've thrived on that in basketball, baseball, football, soccer. You just wouldn't beat Indiana the other day.
Because if Adam's right,
shout out to Lola,
and Nick Saban pisses excellence, and we're just hoping we don't get 50 hung on us, and we're just happy to be here, then
there's no more hunter left in.
No. I mean, if that's the case, then why would I be nervous? What am I nervous about? That's what I'm saying.
Quick commercial break. Midday with Marcus Maven. 8150 93.9 is the number.
Drink some protein or something.
On 93.9 The Ville.
Getting in shape